All right, good morning. Let us call to order the Cuyahoga County Convention Facilities Development Corporation special meeting of the Board of Directors for the date of Wednesday, October 9th, 2024. Let the time be reflected to show be 8:32 a.m. Ms. Julie, can you please call the roll?
Debbie Berry,
Here, sorry.
Jeff Epstein, David Gilbert,
Here.
Majid McCloof,
Here.
Trevor McAleer,
Here.
Michael Obi. Michael Obi,
Here.
Tim Oftermatt,
Here.
Rashonda Smith, Mayor Sellers.
Here. Let the record show that there's a quorum present. This is portion of the agenda allows us to take public comments. Are there anybody signed up for public comments?
No public comments.
All right, there are no public comments at this time. We'll move on to the next matter on the agenda, which is board governance. I'm gonna turn that over to Jeff Applebaum.
All right, did someone else just sign in? Maybe
Rashonda
not.
Smith.
Smith.
Okay.
Thank
Good
you.
morning, Rashonda.
Good morning.
Morning.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. There are, before the mayor asked for a motion to go into executive session, there are a couple governance matters that we want to deal with. I was asked at a private meeting to start looking at some of the governance issues because we know that we're going to be changing. There's going to be changes in terms of our governance coming up. And there are two matters that I wanted to bring to the attention of the board. One of them has to do with the executive committee. We have in the Code of Regulations, Article 3, Section 3, that discusses the function of the executive committee, which we have had, which does meet on a regular basis, monthly. There is a technical issue in the current code that I wanted to address. When we formed this in 2020, the concept was that you'd have an executive committee, but there would be an equal balance of individuals nominated solely by the county executive and nominated solely by the council president. That creates, for the current complexion, at least for right now, that creates a technical issue because right now, there's 4 members of the executive committee. We don't want to have, we want to be able to have an executive committee that does not violate the quorum rules, which would be 5 of 9. So I want to keep it at 4. Right now, however, we have one individual who is actually solely appointed by the executive, which is the mayor. We have 2 individuals who were solely appointed by the council president, which are Trevor and Tim, and then Majid is a joint appointee. So technically, we don't have that balance, and that's good. That would continue to be an issue unless the board expanded or we reduce the size of the executive committee. So the solution we feel is appropriate, and you have the resolution in front of you. It's what I put in red. It is to simply say that while we do want to maintain that balance, and that's the general rule, we want to say that a jointly nominated director pursuant to Article 2, Section 2C, which in this case is Majid, may serve on the executive committee in lieu of any solely nominated director unless objected to by either the county executive or the council president. It still gives them the right to impose something differently, but unless they object, it permits us to use the method that we now have. So this seemed to be a reasonable compromise. Maybe in the future, this is resolved in a different way if the board number changes or if we change governance, but it would be an immediate solution. And I think Mayor, the only other, I'll mention the other matter, then I'll turn over to the mayor for a vote on both of these. That's the first one. The second one is that we do have the annual meeting coming up at the end of this month. One of the things we do at the annual meeting is we do have to have nominations for officers for the following year. We talked about this actually a few years ago. We talked about whether we should have a nominating committee or not. We never implemented a nominating committee, but there does have to be a body responsible for coming up with nominations. So at this point in time, maybe in the future, we'll talk about a nominating committee, but for right now, the other proposal is that the executive committee be charged by the board to come up with nominations, to review those to talk with people before the board meeting and to be in a position to present those nominations at the board meeting. So those are the two resolutions that are before you today.
All right, so Jeff has just presented to you the two resolutions that we're gonna vote on here. The first resolution is about the governance. And I believe you all should have the resolution in front of you. And if you have it in front of you, the section in red is really the part that we're adding to this resolution that will allow us to deal with the manner in which this group moves in governance fashion. The second resolution is about the nomination. So first, let me ask you, there are questions about the first governance issue about the regarding executive committee. Is there any questions about that? All right, hearing none, I'll move to the second resolution. Is there any question about the way that we're going to go through these officer nominations? All right, this will allow us to proceed in an orderly fashion. With hearing no questions, comments, or concerns, I move to take a motion on the first resolution, which is the board resolution regarding the executive committee. Is there a motion to accept the board resolution as written and been submitted to you?
So moved.
So there's a motion made by Tim, Officer Matt. Who was the second? Was that by Trevor?
Yeah.
All right, second by Trevor McAleer. Julie, can you please call the roll?
Debbie Berry,
Yes.
David Gilbert,
Yes.
Majid McLoof,
Yes.
Trevor McAleer,
Yes.
Michael Obi,
Yes.
Tim Oftermatt,
Yes.
Rashonda Smith,
Yes.
Mayor Sellers.
Yes, thank you. We'll move to the second resolution. The board resolution regarding the nomination of officer nominations. Is there a motion to accept the resolution as presented?
I'll move it.
So the motion made by Tim Oftermatt, is there a second?
A second.
Second by Michael Obi. Julie, can you please call the roll?
Debbie Berry,
Yes.
David Gilbert,
Yes.
Majid McLoof,
Yes.
Trevor McAleer,
Yes.
Michael Obi,
Yes.
Tim Oftermatt,
Yes. Sorry.
Rashonda Smith,
Bagel. Roll.
she's on mute. Thanks.
Yes.
Thank you. And Mayor Sellers.
Yes. All right, thank you for those two resolution passages. Those matters do pass. We will move to the next item. I believe there's a desire to go into executive session to consider employment of an official or an employee pursuant to Ohio Revised Code, section 121.22 G-1. Is there a motion to move into executive session?
So moved.
All right, so that motion is made by Majid. The second was by Trevor, I believe.
Yes.
All right, please call the roll, Julie.
Debbie Berry,
Yes.
David Gilbert,
Yes.
Majid McLoof,
Yes.
Trevor McAleer,
Yes.
Michael Obi,
Yes.
Tim Oftermatt,
Yes.
Rashonda Smith,
Yes.
Mayor Sellers.
Yes. All right, we'll ask all that are not included in the executive session to excuse themselves, and Julie, if they're online, regular quarterly meeting. The next quarterly meeting, we've been moved out of executive session properly. Our next quarterly meeting is October 25th at 8:30 a.m. I ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All right, we'll get the information to everybody. Thank you and have a good day. Thank you for your time this morning.
Thanks, everybody.
Bunch.